good sandwiches that only one deli makes.
Section B, Product Life Cycle.
The average product has a lifespan of 10 years, during which it goes through 4 stages.
Scriptwriter action figures.
The first stage is introduction, which is when the product is brought into the market.
New from Cerebellum, scriptwriter action figures.
The next stage is growth. The product's market share is getting larger through the effect of the company's promotions. The end of this stage is when the product peaks in profits.
Sir, we've gotten orders for 10,000 action figures.
Oh, good! I knew those cereal box ads would work.
Stage number 3 is called maturity. This is when the product peaks in sales. Everyone that could know about the product does, and most of them are buying. The product may be selling more than it ever has before, but the profits from those sales aren't as high as they were during the growth stage.
I got the George Lucas and the Matt Clock and the Kate Spira Benzo, and it came with the invisible jet.
The final stage of a product's life is decline. During decline, sales fall and people stop caring about the product. Sometimes this happens because of the actions of competitors, and other times because the needs and demands of the market have changed.
Oh, look, Jimmy. How would you like a scriptwriter action figure?
Ah, those are so old. I want a fire truck.
That's the product, the first of the 4 Ps.
Part 7. Pricing.
Pricing is about how much people are going to pay for something.
Section A, Pricing Strategies.
There are a plethora of ways of pricing a product, but right now we're going to go over 5 of them. Skim pricing, penetration pricing, competitive pricing, cost-based pricing, and target profit pricing.
Wow! Get out! Get out!
Oh, I'm supposed to be...
No! We're not going to do pricing! This production has been taken over by the forces of good! No longer will we be oppressed by the forces of the so-called standard deviants! Ah! We've been gassed! Tear gas! Tear gas!
The first kind of pricing is called skim pricing. With this method, the price is set at a certain level and can be lowered in small increments to increase demand.
Skim pricing usually starts with a high price. The price can be set high because the product is sufficiently new and different that there is no distinct alternative. A good example of this is in computers. Whenever Intel comes out with a new processor, it's going to be several months before anyone else will come up with a similar chip. During that time, Intel can set the price of the chip high and lower the price in small increments to increase demand.
The thing is, the company knows that people are going to buy, and that many people are willing to pay the high price just to be the first person to own one. So, the company can wait until all the people who can afford the high price stop buying, then lower the price to allow more people to buy. If everything is done correctly, by the time the competitors come out with their own product, the price has been skimmed low enough to be comparable with that of the competitors.
Penetration pricing is used in very competitive markets, like cars and laundry soap. The price is set very low to attract customers, in effect penetrating the market. An initial rush of customers creates a profit through a high volume of sales. When a sufficient customer base is established, the price of the product is raised.
Of course, customers aren't stupid. You raise the price, and they give you what for.
Competitive pricing is readjusting your price to meet that of your competitors. This style of pricing leads to price wars, like they have with fast food restaurants and airlines.
Cost-based pricing is a category of pricing methods that involves using the cost of producing the product to help determine the price to the consumer. We'll talk about 2 cost-based pricing methods, the cost-plus pricing method and target profit pricing.
Cost-plus pricing is when the price of a product is a certain percentage markup from its cost to produce. Like this video, for example. This video costs about 20 cents to make, and we have a 1,000% markup, thus making the price $20.
The executives of Cerebellum Corporation have insisted that we make clear that this video doesn't cost 20 cents to make. The reasonably priced world of marketing was very expensive, and you're getting more than your money's worth. Believe us.
Target profit pricing is when a company determines the price of a product depending on how much profit the company wants to make. If, for example, a company wanted to make a 15% profit on its investment, the marketers could do a lot of big-time calculations and determine a price for the product which would give them a 15% return. We're not going to do those calculations here. That's the kind of thing you do in a basic finance class. What you need to remember is that the target profit pricing sets the product's price according to the amount of overall profit the company wants to make on the project.
It's time to move on and talk about a property most often associated with rubber.
Section B. Price elasticity of demand.
As you are probably well aware of, the prices of products aren't set in stone. Because of various factors, prices often change. Of course, when prices change, the public notices, and then demand for the product changes. The change in demand caused by the change in price is called
elasticity. Basically, there are two ways to describe the change in demand, elastic and inelastic. Elastic is when demand changes greatly with a change in the price of a product. Inelastic means demand hardly changes when a product changes price.
So, what are products with elastic demand? Elastic demand products are either non-essential or have lots of competitors.
A good example of a non-essential product are those little plastic stink machines. You know, you plug them into a power outlet to make the room smell better. Well, you don't really get those because you need them. If the company that makes them were to raise their price by $5, ain't no way you're gonna buy plastic stink machines. Of course, if they change the price of the plastic stink machines to 5 for $1, hell, you might as well buy 10. See, the change in price caused a big difference in how many you'd buy. That's elastic demand.
The other situation for elastic demand is when customers have a lot of alternative products. Let's use deodorant again. There are billions of kinds of deodorant. If you use Speed Stick and the price of Speed Stick doubles, there are plenty of other options. Instead of paying twice as much, you're more likely just to buy another brand.
Inelastic demand products are things that people are going to buy regardless of the price, like water. People need water. If the price for water changes a few cents either way, people buy just as much. If the price for water were to double, people would complain but probably use only slightly less water.
Inelastic demand products are also ones that have no alternatives. If, for example, there's just one drug to treat the dreaded Nash fever, then the company who makes the drug can set the price to whatever it wants, because that's the only place people can get it.
Section X. Other pricing strategies.
As long as we're here, let's go over some other pricing strategies that you might run into. Like we said before, on your test you'll be asked to identify them, not to use them. So we'll show you how to identify them.
Discount products usually have low prices that don't change much. These are the kind of products you find at outlet stores.
Segmented pricing happens to products that are priced according to the location in which they are sold. The same product may be more expensive in a high-income neighborhood than in a very poor neighborhood.
Geographic pricing is like segmented pricing, but is related only to the region where the product is being sold. A good example of geographical pricing is the fact that normal stuff is much more expensive in Alaska and Hawaii than just about everywhere else in the United States.
Promotional pricing refers to products that are always on sale.
Technically, there are no products that are always on sale, as an eternal sale is illegal, but you get the point.
Products with psychological pricing are adjusted to attach meaning to the product. The price of the product is set high to link the product with value in the consumer's mind. Really expensive products are either high in quality or high in style. Gucci bags aren't that expensive to make, but they cost you a lot because of the status they confer.
Value pricing is the practice of giving the consumers something else to go along with what they're buying. See? Added value. Most of the time, the added value is a huge pack of 8 or 10 of whatever you need. Batteries are the best example of value pricing. You only need 2, but they come in packs of 4, 8, and 12.
International pricing is like geographic and segmented pricing, but adjusts prices according to the global market.
The pricing section was kind of long, but not complicated. If you need to go over it again, this would be a good time to rewind.
Once the product is priced, it's time to get it to the place you want it. This is called
Part 8. Place.
Actually, marketing people generally just call it place. They leave out the Part 8 part. Oh, hi, cheerleaders!
Another name for place is distribution. Distribution is more descriptive, so we'll probably use that term more often.
Distribution is the process by which the company gets the product to the consumer.
The biggest concept in distribution is physical distribution, and it's really very complicated. Luckily, in a basic sense, it's really very simple. In this particular marketing video, we'll only have to deal with physical distribution in a basic sense.
Physical distribution is the actual means by which you get your product from you to wherever you want it to be. That means
truck, train, boat, airplane, sampan, rickshaw, wagon train, mule.
How you go about integrating all those is the complicated part. There are whole classes devoted just to distribution. Instead of devoting the rest of our time to physical distribution, we're going to move on and pay attention to 3 other things.
The 3 things related to distribution that we should talk about are distribution channels, channel conflict, and reducing channel conflict.
Section A, distribution channels.
channels are the means a company uses to distribute a product.
Direct marketing channels are ways in which a company sells directly to the consumer. Carvin Company, which makes musical instruments, is a retailer that only uses direct marketing channels. They have no retail stores. They only sell directly to the public through catalogs.
Most companies use indirect channels. Indirect channels are second parties who sell the product for the company. This would be shops, department stores, street vendors, that kind of thing.
Indirect channels can be very large and include many levels. The most common form of an indirect channel includes the company who makes the product, which we call the producer, who sells to a wholesaler. The wholesaler then sells to a retail outlet or many retail outlets.
When a company chooses the channels through which they'll distribute their product, they're really choosing who sells it and where. We describe it as a channel because it better communicates how distribution...
That's it, basically. There are direct marketing channels and indirect marketing channels.
Section B, channel conflict.
Sometimes, all the members of an indirect channel don't get along. Although in the grand scheme of things it would be in their best interest to work together, one company in a channel may be able to make more money in the short term by screwing everyone else. If one or more companies work against the interests of everyone else in the channel, that's channel conflict.
There are 2 different types of channel conflict: horizontal conflict and vertical conflict.
Horizontal conflict occurs when several businesses on the same level of the channel don't get along. Each level of a channel is the group of people who sell to the same consumers. Wholesalers are all on one level because they sell to retailers. Retailers are all on one level because they sell to the public. So if all the retailers aren't getting along, for example, that's horizontal conflict.
Say there are 4 Wheelie Cheese superstores in Chicago. One day, Wheelie Cheese number 1 calls Wheelie Cheese Central to complain about Wheelie Cheese number 3. They say,
"Yeah, Central Cheese, this is Cheese 1. Look, 3 is really putting a burr under our saddle here. Yeah, they're selling some spoiled cheese and they're giving everybody a bad reputation. So you tell them to stop or I'm going to scream into the phone. Ah! And I'm going to do it a lot louder next time."
This is horizontal conflict. The retailers are all at the same level of the channel, and as you saw, they ain't getting along.
Vertical conflict happens when companies at different levels of the channel get their undies in a bundle.
Vertical conflict usually happens when one of the bigger members of the channel puts pressure on one of the smaller members.
If, for example, Tabby Hockey Equipment said to its retailers,
"In order to sell our skates, you must also sell our sticks and pads as well."
the retailers might say,
"We don't want to carry your sticks. They don't sell for..."
Then Tabby might say,
"Well, too damn bad. No sticks, no skates."
and as you can see, we've got a vertical channel conflict. Channel conflict isn't good for anyone involved. So wouldn't you know it, those crazy marketing people have come up with some solutions.
Section C, reducing channel conflict.
Vertical conflict is much more common than horizontal conflict. 3 systems have been created to deal with vertical conflict, and they're pretty neat, so we'll go over them here. They are the corporate system, the contractual system, and the administered system.
In the corporate system, one member of the channel owns some or all of the channel's parts. A good example of this is AT&T's production of telephones. AT&T makes the phones and distributes them to AT&T phone centers, which are retail outlets that AT&T also owns. The same company owns the whole channel and they have no problems.
The contractual system is a lot like the corporate system, except that in the contractual system, nobody owns anybody. In the contractual system, members of the channel get together and sign contracts to cooperate.
The most popular kind of contractual system is the franchise. You may have heard of franchises before.
The way a franchise works, basically, is that some company comes up with a really good idea. Like Coke came up with a soda, Ford came up with cars, and McDonald's came up with, well, McDonald's. Realizing that they have good ideas, the companies license someone else to either make or sell or distribute their good idea. A license is basically a contract that says, we say it's okay for you to sell or distribute our good idea as long as you pay us. Bottling companies pay Coca-Cola so they can bottle and wholesale Coke. Car dealers get licensed by Ford to sell Ford cars, and fast food people pay McDonald's for the right to put up a McDonald's in your town. See how it works?
So, in a contractual system, the channel members make contracts promising to work together.
The administered system is the final form of reducing channel conflict. Doesn't it sound tidy?
The administered system sounds really nice and organized, but it's not. In the administered system, one of the members of the channels is bigger and stronger than everyone else, and so it tells them what to do.
If, for example, you own the only company which had the cure for the dreaded Nash fever, you could dictate where the cure would be sold and for how much. You would be the leader of an administered system.
So those are the methods for reducing channel conflict. With all that pesky channel conflict reduced, the whole channel is opened up for even better luck than ever before.
Let's review. Distribution is the process of getting the product from the company to the customers. The method and path that a company uses to distribute a product is called the distribution channel. Sometimes, the parties involved in a distribution channel don't cooperate, which is called channel conflict. Channel conflict reduces income and profits for the members of the channel. Channel conflict can be reduced by forming the channel into a corporate, contract, or administered distribution system.
Part 9. Promotion.
Promotion is the array of activities that companies use to communicate the merits of their product and convince customers to buy.
Promotion is the final piece of the market mix, the fourth P. The company has created a product and decided on a price. The product has been shipped to a good place for people to buy it. Now the company uses promotion to let the customer know what the product is and why they should buy it.
Section A. Objectives of promotion.
Promotion, in general, is getting out information about your product. With promotion, you move the consumer from merely being aware of your product to buying your product. There are several different goals a company can have with each specific promotion effort. The goals are to provide information, to increase demand, to differentiate the product from the competition, to stabilize sales, or to accentuate a product's value.
Often, the only purpose of promotion is to provide information. The company desires only to educate the public about the product.
Tabby skates are constructed by Amish craftsmen in rural Wisconsin. You use them on ice, eh?
Other times, the public already has a sufficient knowledge of the product, but the company wants them to buy more. This kind of promotion is designed to increase demand. Associating your product with a sports star is a good way to increase demand.
What if your product seems to be just like everyone else's, even though you know it's different? That's when you use promotion for differentiating the product.
Good promotions spur sales. Unfortunately, sometimes between promotions, sales drop. Some promotions are specifically designed to keep sales high even after the active promotion ends. These are promotions that stabilize sales.
The usual promotional method of stabilizing sales is a sales promotion in the form of coupons or discounts. This kind of promotion spurs consumers to continue buying, even after they normally would have stopped.
The last kind of promotion, promotion that accentuates a product's value, justifies the high cost of a product by harping on the product's high quality and usefulness. This kind of promotion tells you that the product has to be expensive because it's so cool.
If you need to get a better handle on those goals, now's a good time to rewind.
Section B. Promotional mix.
It isn't good enough to have a message and a purpose for it. A company has to decide how to get its message to consumers. In modern marketing, there are 5 basic means of promotion. They are advertising, consumer and trade sales promotions, public relations, direct marketing, and sponsorship. The promotional mix is the way the company uses all those means together.
Coincidentally, in ancient marketing, there was only one way to promote your product. Screaming man!
Advertising is any form of media without face-to-face contact that a company pays for to help promote itself. In general, a company uses an advertisement to entice a consumer into buying.
A consumer sales promotion is something that a company dangles in front of the customers to get them to wander over. This is the kind of thing you usually think about when you hear promotions. Typical sales promotions are sweepstakes, coupons, contests, and other giveaways.
And now, $10 off Tabby skates when you tell your retailer, I'm gonna bite into the ice.
In addition to consumer sales promotions, there are also trade sales promotions. These are like consumer promotions, but they're aimed at the people who sell the product. The specific purpose of a trade sales promotion is to encourage stores to sell a product. A typical trade promotion is offering a store a lower price if they order a large amount of product for their inventory. Trade sales promotions can also be big in-store displays and t-shirts for the salespeople.
In general, public relations is unpaid media. That means the company is getting publicity for free. Often the company uses its public relations department to stage public relations events, specifically to attract reporters and other media types.
Public relations events can vary widely, but usually the publicity isn't centered on the company or the product. The main idea of a public relations event is to show how the company helps, assists, and contributes to the community.
Tabby employees lend a helping hand at the construction of a local playground.
Direct marketing is the process of bringing the message directly to the consumer. The company selects a specific target market and then approaches the members of that market individually.
The final component of the promotional mix is sponsorship. Through sponsorship, a company donates money to an event or cause in hopes that the public will associate the company's name with the event.
Thank you for watching this Sports Place presentation. Join us next Saturday, the 13th Annual Scout Races, sponsored by Wheelie Cheese, it's shaped like a wheel, and Robo Couriers, on time with machine-like precision, and Tabby, bite into the ice.
Let's review those forms of promotion. Advertising is paid media. Consumer promotions are special offers to get the public to buy. Trade promotions are special offers to get businesses to buy. Public relations is unpaid media. Direct marketing is selling directly to the public with no middlemen. And sponsorship is donation of money to third parties to build the company's image.
Well, the fun stopped now, and that's good because the video has too.
Let's do a little inventory of what we've learned, shall we? We learned about marketing plans, marketing research, and the 4 Ps of marketing, not to mention so much, much more.
Remember to go to class and call us anytime that you become confused about anything. The number is 1-800-238-9669.
Good luck and goodbye from the Standard Deviants.
Bye! Bye, everybody! Come back and see us! Of course you have to! Goodbye!
I'm sorry.
Block's a good...
Start over. Let me try one more.
The reasonably priced world thieves...
Tried it.
I'm sorry.
To blow chunks.
Forming the channel.
Sorry, I just...
Or does someone know I'd rather...
To do run, to do run.
That's the...
And just a little munchy toss salad.